The next transformation that we are going to be looking at is called dilations. Now, dilations, when you think of the word dilations, you think of getting larger. Like you go to the eye doctor and you get your pupils dilated, they get larger. That is part of it. So this is actually the enlargement, or in some cases, the reduction, so in other words, getting smaller, of a figure. So they're no longer congruent, but they still have that similarity piece. So the scale factor indicates how much the figure will be enlarged or reduced. So when you look at this, the variable that they use for the scale factor in these documents are K. And so when K is greater than 1, your dilation is getting bigger, so it is an enlargement. And when your K is less than 1, your dilation is a reduction. In other words, it's getting smaller. So we're going to do just a couple examples. I think this is going to be one of those that you guys catch on to really quickly. So we're going to do a couple of the evens. I went ahead and I graphed these points. So take a second to do so if you haven't already. And then what you're going to do is you're literally just taking this 3 and you're multiplying every single coordinate by 3. So A is going to become negative 9, 0. B is going to become 3, 6. C is going to become 6, 0. And D is going to become negative 6, negative 6. So every single number, whether it's in the X or the Y, we're just multiplying by 3. So as we look at this, we're going to go ahead and graph this. So negative 9, 0 will take us here. 3, 6 will take us here. 6, 0 will take us here. And negative 6 will take us here. And so we've got A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. Now something to be mindful of, when you connect these, your pre-image and your image lines should be parallel. They should look to be the same as you go about doing this, okay? So if there's something funky when you guys graph it, that should serve as a red flag. If you take a look at number 4, again, I went ahead and plotted these points, and I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in to multiplying everything by 1/4. Now, keep in mind, that is the same as dividing by 4. So you don't think of it as a fraction or as something as a scary thing. So if we look at the first one, we get negative 1, 2. When you divide 10 by 4, you get 2.5. And some of you will hesitate because you're worried about the decimal. Don't be, it's okay. And then the last one, you'll have negative 1/2, negative 2. And so when I plot this, I'm over 1 up 2, over 2.5 up 0, and left 1/2 down 2. And so this is my new W, X, and Y. Something else that I failed to mention that would come in handy as a check is when I look at this, if I go back to number 2, if I connect the origin and my pre-image, I wanted to grab the straight line there, let me try that again. If I grab the origin and my pre-image, it's going to go through my image. And I could do that for any of them. I could take my origin, pre-image, image, and it goes straight through all of those. So that serves as another check as we're looking at these. So take a second, do number 6. I went ahead and I plotted the points. You guys go ahead and figure out your 3 points and then answer those within the Ed puzzle, and then I'll give you guys some feedback on it. Now the only one that is a little bit different, or the only ones that are a little bit different, are when you have a graph already given to you. You don't have the coordinates. So here's the deal, guys. All you have to do is read the coordinates off the graph. So for example, I'm going to take a look at number 10 here. If I look at A, I can figure out that A is 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the left, so negative 4. And then I can figure out that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units up, so negative 4, 8. And then I would do the same thing for B. B is over 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I would do the same thing for C. And I'm going to pause on C. I'm going to let you guys do C in its entirety. But what we're going to do for those is then we're just going to go ahead and multiply everything by 3/4. So that turns this into a negative 3. 8 times 3/4 turns into a 6. 4 times 3/4 turns into a 3, and 6 times 3/4 is going to be 4.5. But again, don't hesitate because of that fraction. It's okay. So go ahead, take some time, figure out your C value, and go ahead and answer that within your Ed puzzle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plot these 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my new A. My B is over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. That's my new B. And I'm going to let you guys go ahead and plot your new C. Again, I'm going to give you some feedback within that end puzzle. The only other one we have left is a question like number 12 or 11, either one. But we're going to stick with the evens. If we look at number 12, you can pick any point. Okay, you can pick any point. So if we look at x, x is over 2 up 0. My new x is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0. And so what we can do to figure this out is we can do the image number divided by the pre-image number. Now you can pick it from the x or the y. In this case, don't do the zeros because that's not going to help you any. But if I take a look at this, I can take the 8 divided by the 2, and that's going to give me a 4. Now the reason you have to go in this order is you have to think about it logically. If we look at this picture, the one without the apostrophes is clearly smaller than the one with the apostrophes. In other words, your pre-image is smaller than your image. So that means that this number has to be greater than 1 since it has gotten larger. If it had gotten smaller, that would indicate that our answer was wrong because, again, if it had gotten smaller, that answer would have to be less than 1. So be very mindful about which one you're starting with and which one you're ending with. But the key is you can always do image divided by pre-image. And again, you could have picked any number. You didn't have to pick the X. You could have picked the Y. You could pick the Z. You could pick the W. So hopefully that makes sense. I know it was a little bit shorter of a video. I did that because, again, I am confident that you guys are going to be okay with these. So let me know, though, if you guys do have any questions. I know we didn't do any of these here. These are some of the homework. So if you're looking along the left-hand side, that's what those are. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think you guys will be pretty good on it. Thanks.